Hey, Lacerated Runner here. Wanted to take some time to walk you through setting up and playing a couple rounds of my new board game, all downhill from here, the Ultra Running board game. If you're like me, when you get a new board game, first thing you do, open it up, look at the rule booklet, and be like, I don't want to read that. I'm going to look for a video. So, I decided, who better to make the video than the person that made the game? Though I do believe the rule book is pretty solid, thorough, covers everything you need, and it's a good fallback. Within the box itself, you're going to see it's a lot of baggies. I typically put all the board icons together, the runner stuff, including the drop bags, the rage tokens, like the tokens, so like the dice, the runners themselves, the energy sliders, and the sweeper. The grip bags get their own, just because you'll probably be going through these the most, like adding and subtracting grit a lot. And then I separate out some of the cards into the remaining ones, just to make them fit. I usually have all the runner stuff together, like the energy tracker, the cheat sheet, and even the pacer in one. And then this has like basically everything else that's not the solo event, since the solo event is the biggest deck. So to get started, first thing is you're gonna have to pick what race you want to do. I'm going to do the same as the instructions, and we're going to do the Desert Mice race. Shows you the difficulty. This is the easiest race, but don't let that fool you. I've definitely not finished this when things go badly. Tells you some special rules. On this one, we always start with clear weather. A little bit of information about the race itself. Then there are sections, right? We have the runner section, where this tells you the running starting energy, which is also the maximum energy you can have. How many grit tokens you start with, which is not the maximum. You may go over this amount. The number of drop bags each runner gets, which this amount cannot change, and how much energy they replenish also shows you that you get one rage coin. Other section is it shows you the pacer, what aid station they're going to be at, and we'll go over the different icons in a moment here. And so you also have to choose if you want to do clockwise or counterclockwise. I typically start with clockwise, but it should be about the same difficulty either way. And then the timer, which is correlated to the race timer here, tells you how often the different events happen. For this one, the sweeper starts on the 2, will speed up every 5, the weather will change every 4, and night and day will change every 8. Then on the back, you will see how the board itself should be set up in terms of where the aid stations are, where the junction events are, where the trail events are, and which colors. So the first thing to do is get each of these tokens. For the trail events and aid stations, there should be 2 tokens of the same color, and we're going to go through why that is in a moment. The junction events do not have a pair, and you only need 1 per space. I also pull out the time of day tokens, and we can actually just place these now, since this tells me it's going to change every 8, and the icon indicates it starts on day. So we're going to say day is at 8 there in the race chute. This is the first player token. The weather changes every 4. So we know to put it here. We'll get the cards in a minute. Sweeper starts at 2. So on the coin for the sweeper, you have the start and the speed up. The speed up only happens after he starts. They start at 2. So the board is almost set up. Let's get the cards in place, and then we'll do the runner setup. So we'll go through the bags. It says, since it shows the day, we start on day. So I'm going to put day face up. The special rule for this race says we always start with clear weather. So we're going to find the clear weather card, put that face up, and then do a quick shuffle on the rest of these. So for trail events, we have 3 on the board, right? We have purple, orange, and green. So get the cards. I'm going to shuffle them. We're going to put face down without seeing them 3. Now the rest of these we will not need for this race, so we can put them back in the bag. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 aid stations, right? Signified by the matching ones. So we're going to put those there. All face down. We're running it clockwise, and so it indicates here that it's at blue is where you will pick up your pacer. So I typically put a pacer per runner. I am doing 4 runners, so I grab 4 of the pacer cards. And then I tuck them underneath the aid station that your pacer's waiting at. Board's all set up. All we have to do are the runners now. So we have red, orange, purple, and white are the runners on the board. And remember, each one gets 3 drop bags this race. Also, since I found them, might as well give them each their 1 rage coin. You also want a cheat sheet for each runner. On the other side, it also has the race flow. It's just kind of a good way to remember how the rounds work, which we'll go over in a moment. But yeah, also tells you a snapshot of each of the different icons and how they impact you. I'm gonna just put them to the side. Pull all the dice out. You'll want all 6 because there are ways to gain bonus dice. And so sometimes you might get to roll 6. And then look for each of the runners. We need the Grim Sweeper. And then we need 2 slider markers for each runner. This race tells us we start at 40. So you can use it how you want. This is how I prefer to use them. The circle above the grit. Each runner gets 3. And for the sweeper speed, I just take an extra grit token and flip it upside down. Sweeper speed always starts at 1 unless something indicates otherwise. So this is what a fully set up runner looks like. You have your energy sliders set at the starting amount. You have all of your drop bags, 3, which we'll distribute in a moment. You have all of your grit. And then you have your rage coin. Last thing before we can start the race is we need to assign our drop bags. There are no restrictions on it, except that once the race starts, you cannot move them. You're allowed to put them anywhere you want, and so red could put all 3 on green, which I wouldn't really recommend, especially since that's the first one. Because remember, your energy is also capped by that number too. So I'm going to go through and distribute drop bags for each of these runners. I typically put them next to the aid station marker, just so they don't get in the way of flipping the cards. So now I could put the rest of the markers in the box, minus I keep the grit tokens out because they come and go quite a bit. Shuffle the solo event cards. This is what the game looks like fully set up.
I'm going to cover the rules and playthrough in a part 2 video.